Are you overwhelmed by the news? Like, do you feel there's like too much? I mean, too much everything, too much information, too much this, too much that, too much polarization, too many sad things, too many things of not seeming human, of dropping bombs and unaliving. And are you constantly involved in like picking a side and thinking that one side is the right side, whether it's left or right, or tribe or that tribe, or political party or that political party? And once you pick a side, like, what happens inside the mind? Who are you inside of this identity? And so instead of asking, like, what is true, it starts to say, what does my side believe? And I'm wanting to like check in with Professor Yang again on this topic, on what is it to be human and how can we as human beings change our world? If you're feeling powerless or afraid of a civil war, like it doesn't have to be like that. And we are so amazing, these creatures that we are. But yet, so much of us are trapped and don't know how trapped we are. And being taught that we're free. Free in what way? Are we free in our minds? So, this is just an exciting world, exciting moment to take on some philosophy of being human and how that can actually change our planet and change the whole. So here we go. Dun dun dun. Let's see. What is
Why do we see the world the way it is? How do we think? How do we have ideas? How do we communicate? You're not allowed to ask this question. And therefore, you're not allowed to ask the question, what does it mean to be human? What is human? Okay? And I will show you in this class that there are two aspects of being human. There is, of course, the material aspect. You have a body, but you also have a soul. Okay? You also have a soul that connects you to the spiritual or to the divine. Okay? And that's who you are. And this.
so? Right now, we're getting into it with this great professor who has become famous for predicting elections and wars and all kinds of things, but he is looking at the whole system. And so here he is looking at who are we? Like, we go to all this school. We don't ever think, how do we think? How does thinking work? Um, what is consciousness? What is it to be a human being? And so this is like bigger than politics or ideology. It's really about what are we? What's being human? And identifying with groups, teams. I'm this type of person, and we sort our world into categories. And sometimes that's how we need to survive. Labels: Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative, etc., etc. We are so much more than that, and it's the the trap of buying into it. It's the we can't win. If you think there's some powers to be out in the world that are doing terrible things, if you've heard of anything about the millions of emails and the files and the horrible, unnameable things that human beings are being, I guess they're human. What's happening in the world? If you want to fight those powers, it's like, how are we going to fight tanks? Like we don't. It's not a materialistic fight. We don't have the material as the people. It's it's more than that. It's connecting to something so much bigger than that. So it's a lot to do with what revisiting from like philosophy from years ago of studying is like, what is reality? And how we've been mistaking the cave, the Plato allegory cave, the shadow wall. So
consciousness. Consciousness comes from energy, vibrations. Okay? So all the entire universe, it's vibrations. Vibrations carry information. Information becomes consciousness. All right? So let's metaphorically, what we say is there's a source called a monad, okay? The one, okay, the center of the universe, God. And how the monad works is through breathing, emanation. And this creates vibrations throughout the universe. Okay? So the monad breathes in and breathes out. And this is the basis of the universe, these vibrational fields, okay? But through this process, this also creates other entities as well. Okay, and we call these the dyads. And so these are all the basic structure of the universe. And then the dyads create other forces as well, okay? And as the universe keeps on vibrating, the vibrations, the frequencies become slower, right? You go from high to low, Om. And because it's going slow now, physicality, materialism develops. And this creates the material universe. Okay?
Okay.
But the thing to understand is that material is always connected to the spiritual. This entire force, the entire universe, it's all interconnected together. It's both everything and nothing at the same time. Okay?
Everything and nothing at the same time. That is one of my favorite things in the whole world. Everything and nothing. Everything and nothing. And it just goes back to the atom. It's everything and nothing. Like in an atom, it's like takes up space and we look like we're things and this seems real and that seems real. There's a guitar on the wall. But like it's actually nothing. It's actually, if you break it down, it's like 0.0000001% matter. And it's actually made of nothing, or at least the thing that it's holding is actually something we don't know what it is. Or at least if they do know, they haven't told me about it. Go back to our professor brilliance.
The problem, though, is that eventually our world is created. And then what happens is our world is materialistic and we have bodies. So our bodies are part of this material world, but our consciousness comes from the divine. Okay? Does that make sense? So our bodies are created through evolution, but our consciousness is created through the vibrations of the universe. Our consciousness is connected with the universe itself. All right, so another way we can understand this concept is imagine these people together, okay? You have all these people together. So how consciousness works is it's an infinite dimensional consciousness. So this is what happens, right? Your consciousness is expanding infinitely in.
Okay, this is like my favorite part. I love this visual. Our consciousness is expanding. Oh, it's like our consciousness touches consciousness. This is how Relateful works. This is like, I want to keep the visual up here, but let you see me bigger here. I'm a beginner. So we're in a Zoom. We're in a Zoom. Say there's 9 people or 10 and we're having consciousness. We aren't all talking at once. But sometimes you don't even have to talk. Like you can have an amazing experience and not say a word. I mean, like it doesn't matter. The consciousness is coming out of, and it's interlocking. And then the practice includes becoming aware and noticing that and feeling into that and feeling like how when somebody's consciousness hits your consciousness, what it feels like to have that. We call that impact. And it's like the difference between like the authenticity that I practiced in the 90s was like, here I am, take it or leave it. Like, not my problem how you experience me. Like, I wasn't in his diagram. I was in my own bubble and pretending like my vibration is mine and yours is yours. And if my vibration affects your vibration, that's on you. You need to figure out how to put a bigger wall around your bubble because I'm a strong person with a lot of opinions. So here we are. What is it to intersect? Oh, this is one of my favorite things um, of this professor. Let's go back.
Into the universe. As you can see, at one level, you are by yourself. Okay? Your consciousness is unique to you.
At one level, or like the entire decade of the 1990s.
But at another level, at a higher level, is that you're connected with someone else. And then you're connected to another person, okay? And you go on and on until you connect with everything. So within your consciousness is the capacity to connect with the entire universe. But it's
with everything. So even in a Zoom, you're in 9 boxes, there's 9 of you, but you sometimes you connect so much that you feel like you are connected to the entire universe, and it feels very trippy. If you've experienced psychedelics, which this professor discusses often, even though he's never done them, as a way to touch this oneness. It happens in sessions. It doesn't happen every session. It doesn't happen to every person, but it's amazing. It's amazing. And this is all, without any substances. It's like, highly recommend it. All right, back
really
to
far, far away, okay? Okay? So this is complicated. And so different philosophers throughout history have tried to figure out how to best articulate this truth, this great secret to humanity. And the best metaphor that we have is something called Plato's allegory of the cave. Plato's cave. And this helps us understand who we are, where we came from, and where we're going. Okay, so this is a metaphor, an allegory that helps us understand what it means to be human and the human condition. Okay, so what Plato says is this. Imagine you have these prisoners. Okay? And they're all tied down. They're chained to the ground. Their necks are chained, their arms are chained, so you can't move your head. You can't get up, okay? And what you're doing is you're watching a wall. Okay, this is a wall. And behind the wall, behind you, is this great fire. And then from behind this fire are these people. We don't know who they are actually, okay? But they are putting up these figures. And so they are projecting shadows onto a wall. And because we, the prisoners, cannot see the entirety of a reality, we believe that the wall itself is reality. Okay? So an example of this, of course, is movies. We watch movies and we think this is a reality. Okay? So the question then is this reality right now? Are we experiencing reality? If somebody's watching this video, or when I was watching his video originally, or right, is this my reality right now? I'm looking at a screen, I'm watching his video. Am I in reality? I don't know. I have energy. I have an energy field. I have passion. I have a desire to share this. I have a desire to go, hey, my mind just got blown and I've been studying this stuff for 30 years. Like, how am I this blown? Like, there's spiritual teachers and there's gurus, and I love all my facilitators and like all the teachings, and I respect so many people. And there's Tim Urban, who talks about getting into the identity level of party, membership, or etc. Are you this or are you that? Are you this or are you that? Are you red or are you blue? Blah blah blah. There are amazing teachers and speakers. And they're great. I'm just blown away that this teacher is blowing my mind the most. I mean, because he doesn't just speak of this, he speaks of what's going on geopolitically. He speaks of like what's going on with civilization, what's going on in every way. I highly recommend all of his videos. I haven't seen a bad one yet. So yeah, I just back to
back to Plato from how many hundreds of years ago?
Why are these people making this effort to fool us into believing that this wall, these movies are real? And the answer is because they're trying to enslave us.
Boom.
Okay?
Boom.
Slavery.
Boom.
But then you're like, okay, but slavery means that I take a gun and I say, if you don't do what I say, I'll kill you. But that's not what slavery is. If the universe is conscious, okay, our energy comes from our attention. Attention is energy. So what they want is our energy. Okay? That's true wealth. If they're able to focus our energy, capture our imagination, they can construct reality in the way that they want it. Okay? Because reality is what we imagine it to be. The imagination is the animating force of the universe. Right? So they can focus our attention. For us, they can create their own reality. All right? Now we understand why we watch movies. Now we understand why we have the internet. Now we understand why the school wants you to love artificial intelligence. Because it's to enslave you. It's all of human history is about enslavement. Okay? That's what progress is. You think that, oh my God, I can now watch movies. Oh my God, I have now social media. I can communicate with anyone. Oh my God, I have ChatGPT. And ChatGPT can tell me the truth about the world. No. All these things are created to enslave your mind. Because you have access to God. And so what they're trying to do is trick you into believing that this reality is a true reality. Because once you believe that, this reality becomes the only reality. Okay? So then the question is like, who are these people? Well, we don't know, okay? You can say they're the elite, they're the powers that be. You can also say they're demons. We don't know, okay? But they're interested in fooling us into believing that the movies that we see are real. The internet is real. Social media is real. Okay. So then the question then is, okay, if this is slavery, what is freedom?
Or let's pause and take a second here. Wow. Wow. Yeah. It's kind of like they've said in the spiritual teaching world, everything's an illusion. Everything's an illusion. And so here we have like illusions on a screen, all the scrolling and all the things, and how that keeps us as slaves. And not the kind of slaves like chained up and horrible. No, it's different than that. But the kind that keep us from winning against these, whatever you want to call them, elites, against the power structures at B that may have nothing to do with red or blue, right or left, and to wake up from seeing the wall in the cave. And I think he's going to get to it in a moment here. It's just, and then somehow this led me to like, oh my gosh, I have to meditate more for like reasons bigger than me. Like I quit certain foods long ago because of what those companies are capable of and doing to our planet. I didn't do it for my own personal health. And then maybe this is a self-esteem thing and I'm sorry. And there have reasons from my childhood, blah, blah, blah. But this is like meditation is for the self. I've been taught meditation is so good for you. And it's a fact and there's studies and blah, blah, blah. Okay. But meditation to like win against the elites, to change the power structure, to like save the planet, to like stop a civil war, meditation to stop bombs from dropping. I mean, it's extremely radical, but what if let's go back to his beautifulness.
All right. What freedom is to escape this system and to be able to think for yourself, to see for yourself, to be yourself. So Plato goes on and says, okay, this one guy, for whatever reason, his chains break loose. And he stumbles out of the cave into the wilderness, okay? The wilderness. And he sees the sun. And the sun, of course, is God. And at first, he's blinded by the light. Yes, you have a question?
Yeah. So like.
Sorry.
All right. 1 second.
You're blinded by the light. Okay? And you hate it. But you struggle, and then you teach your eyes to see. And then you recognize that this world is beautiful. It is infinite. It's diverse. It's alive. This world that you thought was real is just a corpse. It's a dead zombie world. Okay? This is what life is. Okay?
Deeply.
And that's what freedom is. Freedom means that you are now finally able to awake from this terrible nightmare, see everything that is around us, movies, the AI, school, as prison, as hell. And then you're able to look inside yourself and then connect back to God. Okay? The spiritual. To look beyond the phenomena and return to the nomena.
My last video, I tried to put in the Muppet song, Mana. Didn't like it, got a copyright. Yeah, I don't know, it touches me every time. I got tears in my eyes. Like, the world is so beautiful. Like, when you wake up and see how beautiful the natural world is, it's mind-blowing. Like, from the tiniest weed that grows the most beautiful flowers that we just step on or think isn't real. And like I said in my first video, like creosote in the desert, they just say nothing's there. And this like amazing prehistoric plant is surviving in the harshest environments on Earth. And like from everything, the intricacy of a flower to like a hummingbird, like what, to like whale songs, to how trees just grow and things just grow. Like they just grow in the cracks of the sidewalk. It's all so beautiful. For this cave in case it was missed. So it's a famous thing. The prisoners or whatever were locked in a cave, and so all they could see was the wall, and on the wall was the shadows. So there's a fire outside, and like the shadows created images on the wall, which is like the first television screen or something like that. And the shadows were real to them because they'd never seen anything else, and they believed it to be completely reality. So in this realm we live in with everyone staring at their phones, I mean, how we got this far in this division that we're on the brink of these terms, civil unrest and things like that. You know, social media, news narratives, political identities, algorithm feeds, like this is all the stuff that we think is, we unconsciously may think is real. And what is real is our energy, and how energy is amazing, like interacts and it flows and we have imaginations and like I just call it life force energy. Whoever captures this human attention and energy can influence reality. And if we aren't aware of what's happening, we can become captured. So here we are. Now, in my world, I've always said attention is love, and God is love. And so for him, attention is energy. It's just, it points to the whole thing. And I think he would probably be able to lose, you know, because he says God, and I'd be able to pull all these things. But attention is one of the deepest forces that shape human reality. And we've forgotten how to be present enough to have this attention on real things, these vibrations, the real things. So it's pretty amazing. Okay, so here's the cure. There's a way out. There's a way out. We're getting there. Like, obviously the title is about something to do with meditation and all right, hold on.
Judaism, doesn't matter, okay? Every single religion proposes the same solution, which is
Okay, I'm not sure what if I hit the wrong pause play button.
sun. And sun, of course, is God. And at first, he's blinded by the light. Yes, you have a question?
He goes outside and
So I have a question before.
And then you teach your eyes to see. And then you recognize that this world is beautiful. It is infinite. It's diverse. It's alive. This world that you thought was real is just a corpse. It's a dead zombie world. Okay? This is what life is. Okay? And that's what freedom is. Freedom means that you are now finally able to awake from this terrible nightmare, see everything that is around us, movies, the AI, school, as prison, as hell. And then you're able to look inside yourself and then connect back to God. Okay? The spiritual. To look beyond the phenomena and return to the noumena.
what?
To peer into the noumena, which is vibrations, energy. Okay? All right, so that's the allegory of the cave. This makes sense, right?
All right, so we did the allegory of the cave. I might have missed a bit, pushing pause record at the wrong time. Touched me really deeply the first time. I had tears in my eyes about the beauty of the world and coming out of the cave and seeing the wall and like what we're all doing now on our screens and how it became so easy to divide us because of this illusion and what he calls slavery, mental slavery, not physical. And we live in a beautiful world, from an intricate flower of a weed to the amazing creatures and mammals and hummingbirds. And I don't know. I have a hard time even like hurting a mosquito. So I'm an extreme case. And hey, if you save spiders, just make sure you like don't throw them out the window, drop them, put them down on the ground out of your jar, and so on. And there's so much love for animals here. All right, let's get back into this. And I apologize for the repeated area. Hopefully I'll be able to sort that out shortly.
Okay. Christianity, Judaism, doesn't matter, okay? Every single religion proposes the same solution, which is meditation.
Meditation.
Okay? What is meditation? Okay, so let's start. If the world is vibration, if it flows, there must be a logic to this flow. There must be a certain structure to this movement. Okay? And the Egyptians proposed that what governs this flow is the idea of sacred geometry. Okay, sacred geometry. Okay, this is what the Egyptians spent thousands of years figuring out, that the vibrational energy flows in certain geometric patterns. Okay, and these geometric patterns are the basis for the universe itself.
Beautiful.
So now, if we understand this sacred geometry, what we can do now is construct our consciousness in a way that allows us to match the vibrational flow of the universe, okay? To harmonize with the universe, right? And how do you do that? You do that through breathing, okay? Breath work. Because by breathing, you can structure your consciousness in a way that becomes part of the universe itself, all right? And this will take decades, but you can do this. And then when you're able to harmonize with vibrational flow of the universe, then reality itself reveals itself to you, okay? You're able to see this world as false. you're able now to connect to the true spiritual universe. Okay? So this is true consciousness. And this is what all monks in the world are trying to do. Okay? You're trying to leave your body and embrace the spiritual. Because when you do that, it allows you to connect with the divine and discover the secrets of the universe. You're able to see both the phenomena as well as the noumena. Okay? And this is a great secret of all religions. This is what all
Oh, so good. So, phenomena. I love those words. All right. So, yeah, just so inspired. Like, meditation is political. Meditation is like making big leaps, but it feels so true. So we have the slavery of the mind, the Plato cave, that we see the shadows on the wall. What that is of these constructs and these screens. And yes, I'm on a screen and I'm watching screens as I do the screen, and you're watching a screen right now. So it is very, very confusing. But their attention in the cave was trapped to the wall and perceptually chained. This is our attention being captured, and our thinking has become tribal, and then our identities have become rigid. And if you've seen my little short, like, rigid identities, I think, cause dementia. Again, needs to be studied. This is not a fact. But being able to change your mind, all those influencers and people who are making videos about how they were wrong about so-and-so and who they voted for and are feeling regrets, that's really good elasticity for the brain, in my opinion, which is, of course, not scientifically backed. So let's jump ahead here quite a bit. All of it is so good. I recommend this whole video. Let's get up here. Let's see. We've got a little more here to the very big ending. And thanks for sticking here. Woo! All right, here we go.
Okay? But it's not meant to provide all the answers. Okay? Any questions?
You discussed some of the religious.
So you have a question?
Yeah. And like for the people who create a shadow, that they are trying to create the reality for those people who was called slave. But for those enslaved people, that they think this is like the shadow on wall, those things are the reality, and those things for them are the phenomena of the world. So how could they like to escape them and to chase the real, not the
okay, I understand. Okay,
yeah.
Right. Okay, you don't really understand what's going on. Okay, all right. Let me explain it again. Okay. Okay, you think you know, okay, but you don't know what's really happening. Okay. All right. These prisoners.
This is the best part.
They're the ones who have the capacity to create reality. Okay, you understand this? Now the powers behind them. These people have the power to create reality. So what I need to do is trick them into creating the reality that I want them to create. Does that make sense? Okay? So these are the powers that be, and they hide in the shadows. And they give you tricks. They use deception, manipulation, in order to trick you into thinking that you're a slave. And they're tricking you into wanting to create a reality that they want you to create, but which you think you want to create. Okay? And that's how the world works. We are the ones with the power of God. We're the ones with imagination. The ones behind us don't have an imagination. They have power, but they don't have imagination. Okay? So they need to trick us into wanting to create the world they want us to create. And this is how the world works, guys. Right? Why are you in school being a slave? We say, I'm not being a slave. I'm being free. I'm in school so I can get into a good college, make a lot of money, and live a happy life. Okay? You've been tricked. But the truth is, no. You don't need money to be happy. You don't need anything to be happy. You have yourself. Okay? You have your imagination. You have the capacity to love anyone. If if you just love your mother, if you just love your father, if you love everyone around you, you'll be happy. You don't need money. Like, no, I need $1 billion to buy my brother a Porsche. I need to buy my mother a yacht. That's what my mother really wants. You've been tricked. Okay, that's how the world works. So it's really easy. Just say to yourself, I'm a slave, and I refuse to be a slave. I refuse to listen to what everyone tells me. And that's the hardest thing to do in the world, because like it would mean your rejection from reality, right? It would mean, oh, I have no more friends, my parents hate me, I'm a loser, everyone makes fun of me at school. All right? So that's the reality we live in. We fear social isolation. We fear being laughed at. So we just go with the flow, even though in our hearts, we know this is all a lie. This school, what the teachers teach us, it's all nonsense. ChatGPT, it's lying to us all the time. Seeking money, it's going to make me unhappy. Why am I seeking money? Not for yourself, because you fear social condemnation. You fear being laughed at. That's why you want money. That's what you want to do well in school. Once you accept that, you are free. Can you do that? No, you can't do that. Because all your life, you've been brainwashed, and you're thinking like the thing you see is what's real. Okay? Through movies, through school, through parenting, through friends, through reality. Okay? So that's what Plato's allegory of the cave teaches us.
All right. Well.
So guess what, guys? You'll probably fail. But if you're able to succeed, you'll be truly free and happy and imaginative, and that will allow you to ascend into immortality. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm taking this a step further, that if we do this together, we can win against the powers to be. We can win. And there's, I don't know if you'd like the little bot. It says humanaging. So I recommend watching this video. Again, all of all of this points to meditation and becoming free. And so meditation is more than just calming your nervous system and having a better life. It is actually about freedom. And I don't know how many different meditation teachers I've had, and how many, I've done 3 silent 10-day meditation retreats and various weekends and tons of breath work, so much different kinds of breath work. And I love it all, and it's all awesome. And I don't think there's really too many bad meditations. But for me, without this bigger framework, I didn't motivate. It didn't matter. Because when I'm trapped in the cave and staring at the wall, the screens, I no longer had the motivation to get out of it. I was trapped, just like he's described, fully trapped. So all the knowledge in the world of how good meditation is didn't take me out until this. This feels like the freedom and the perspective that I've been waiting for. And one of my favorite meditations is, I have no name, I have no past, and I have no future. Like, really enjoy that one. But to motivate to do it is the why has to be bigger than me. Because with all the things going on in the world, there's a lot of probably of us that have guilt for not having to run from bombs and not being picked up in unmarked vans with people in masks. Like, some of us might feel guilty that we still are financially secure and have food on the table and live in a country that, even though it's completely messed up and changing faster than we can handle, we still are relatively safe. And I mean, things have changed and all that stuff, but like, there's like a sense of like, there's so many horrible things going on. why do I need to take care of me? Like, why do I matter? Like, me mattering almost is like selfish. But we are all connected, so it's not selfish. It's for us all. And so getting out of the cave, seeing the sun again, and how to stay in that sunlight, how to stay in that beauty, meditation. And he does say somewhere in this video that it might take 30 years to learn how to meditate. And here I am 30 years in, I believe. Probably started in 95, 90, yeah, for sure. 96 for sure. It's 2026. So I just go back one more time in case I missed it in my pause confusion. Let's just go back one more time to the meditation explained by Professor Jiang here. It's about 5 seconds after this.
Religious tradition, whether it's Buddhism, Hinduism, Taoism, Christianity, Judaism, doesn't matter, okay? Every single religion proposes the same solution, which is meditation. Okay, what is meditation? Okay, so let's start. If the world is vibration, if it flows, there must be a logic to this flow. There must be a certain structure to this movement. Okay? And the Egyptians proposed that what governs this flow is the idea of sacred geometry.
Yeah, we did this. All right.
Okay, sacred geometry. Okay, this is what the Egyptians spent thousands of years figuring out, that the vibrational energy flows in certain geometric patterns. Okay, and these geometric patterns are the basis for the universe itself.
Okay, so we covered that. That's great. We covered that. So attention is energy, and imagination shapes reality. The true human superpower is something very simple. The freedom to choose where our attention goes, the freedom to imagine, and the freedom to love. And just reading these words touches me, and my pre-planned these. So no matter if there was a civil war in the United States and a winner appears, we don't win. They don't win. They don't topple the power structure. It'll just be another wall, shadows projected on a wall. We win by waking up. We can avoid that kind of civilization collapse by reclaiming our attention, by stepping out of the cave and remembering what it is to be fully human. Attention is energy. So this really moved me. I hope that sharing this inspires you in some way to just step out of that cave. We all do it together. I will bring back another one with Tim Urban in this, and how these labels are trapping us, and how we seeing through the labels. And there's so much more. And I feel like I'm here with a purpose again. And yeah, I have a lot of emotions, and this is me, this is real. And I'm just very, very touched and very excited that I can share this, and maybe no one will watch it, and that's just okay, because this is my imagination. This is my energy field being put out there, even though it's on a screen. So it's super confusing, even though I'm using ChatGPT. It's so many contradictions here. I'm aware of that. I'm sure the astute are as well. So I want to thank you for your time. Please, watch the whole video. Of Professor Jiang, and he's got so many videos. And I just wanted to leave you with one last thing here. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Well, just go hug a tree. Or feel the tree's vibrations, you know? Guess I'm not gonna be able to find, uh we win by waking up. We don't win by defeating another group. We don't win by our team winning. We don't win that way. We don't win. Think about it. If your side wins, what you dominated a whole nother side or discredit where's where's the love? Um, so I guess I should pause. Hold on. One last so just to close, this reminds me of a hypnosis I used to do in the 90s. Because where our attention goes, our energy flows. Our imagination follows. Where our attention goes, our energy flows. Our imagination is our superpower. If we are constantly focused on conflict, conflict becomes the world we experience. When our attention returns to presence, to awareness, to real human connection, then something else becomes possible. We don't win through violence. We don't win through war. We win by waking up, by reclaiming our attention and stepping outside of the cave. Where our attention and our love goes. Thank you for watching.